تنمية طبيعية وفقا للقرار الصادر عن السيد رئيس مجلس الوزراء رقم 141 لهذا العام 2003، وبصفتي الوزير المسؤول عن البيئة في جمهورية مصر العربية، أود أن أؤكد أن هذا الإعلان يسهم في تحقيق التنمية المستدامة لهذه المنطقة من خلال الترويج للسياحة البيئية، بالإضافة إلى أنه يعتبر مصدرا للترفيه للمصريين والسياح الأجانب على حد سواء، مما يعد تأكيدا عمليا لهدف الوزارة الاستراتيجي لدمج البعد البيئي الخاص بالحفاظ على مواردنا الطبيعية مع البعد الوطني لتحقيق التنمية الاقتصادية.
Continuing to move further south, we leave Wadi Gamal and head towards Sharm el-Luli. On the way, we're treated to a view of a beautiful coastline and diverse landscape. This area provides unparalleled natural diversity. Arriving at Sharm el-Luli, we find a spectacular bay that acts as a natural harbor. I came upon a fisherman here who was preparing his boat to go out to sea. He explained to me that he had come down from Marsa Alam because the fish were much more plentiful here. When asked about how he thought of the plan to develop the southern Red Sea for tourism, he thought it was a good idea as long as the right steps were taken to protect the fish populations and the livelihoods of those fishing for a living. Moving inland from Sharm el-Luli will bring us to a wonderful hiking site. It's fantastic to have so much variety within only minutes. Where else in Egypt do we have such diverse natural treasures? Here we can find narrow canyons that lead into huge wadis, amazing rock formations, fresh air, the sound of silence. This is really a hiker's paradise. Seeing one beautiful sight only sparks my curiosity to explore further. With each step, the scenery gets better and better. I met a couple of hikers in a nearby wadi who told me about their adventures in these parts. They love to come here to get away from the noise of Cairo and the stress of their jobs. They showed me how they learned to make a type of coffee, gabana, from a local Ababda tribesman. They roast the green coffee beans and grind them in a clay pot. Then they brew the coffee with ginger, and in the end they pour it through some string which works as a filter into small cups, and the taste is incredible. Although I'm terrified of heights, the hikers convinced me that I should climb up a nearby mountain to get a good look at Sharm el-Luli from above. This is one of the most spectacular places I've ever been to in Egypt. Over to the right you can see Wadi Gamal Island, which is great for its snorkeling and diving, and then Sharm el-Luli, and further north is Ras Baghdadi. Continuing our journey brings us to Ras Hankurab. This is the site of some of the best beaches in the region. There are coves here as well as a natural anchorage area that is one of the most scenic along the coast, with cliffs that shelter the bay from the northern winds and currents. The beaches near Ras Hankurab could eventually become very popular with tourists. However, this is a preferred nesting site for turtles, and tourism development will be taking into account the importance of biodiversity and the unique environmental treasures that continue to attract tourists from all over the world. Continuing our journey, we arrive at the mangrove stands south of Ras Kulan. Mangrove trees are a unique part of Red Sea life. These trees process salt water to live. They grow along the shore and provide shelter and a spawning, breeding and nursery ground for many species of fish. They are a vital resource to the fish population and to the entire Red Sea ecosystem. Moving on, we come to the port of Hamata. This small town is home to many of the commercial dive boats that already transport tourists daily out to the fabulous coral reefs offshore. One of the boat operators explained to me how he and his colleagues transport up to 60 tourists back and forth to the reefs on a daily basis. They realize that there's a huge demand worldwide for the treasures that exist on the Red Sea. Wadi Lahmi Hill provides a great view of the mangroves and one of the 3 operating hotels in the region. Other hotels are being constructed at the site, taking advantage of the natural bays for anchorage and the spectacular setting. Already there are 3 new hotels in the southern Red Sea with their own dive centers. Several new hotels are under construction.
Most of our guests are coming from Europe. Most of them are from Germany, from Switzerland, from Austria, and from Italy. Most of them are coming for diving and for recreation and relax, because this area is very quiet, very pure, and people feel private.
الزبون اللي بيجي مرة تانية ومرة ثالثة على أساس إنه بيستمتع فعلا بالإقامة في هذه المنطقة.
دلوقتي هي دلوقتي معانا احنا 100 دلوقتي مبسوطين جدا من السياحة، واحنا مبسوطين جدا يعني.
Another encouraging development is the new Marsa Alam International Airport. Egypt Air currently flies here 2 times per week from Cairo, making the southern Red Sea more accessible to international and local travelers. The number of tourists coming here over the last few months have grown rapidly.
السياحة في البحر الأحمر يمكن في الفترة اللي فاتت، فترة عملي كمحافظ للبحر الأحمر، كنت مركز بصفة رئيسية على السياحة المتوافقة بيئيا، لأن إذا لم نحافظ على البيئة فحنفقد الكثير من مصادر السياحة ومصادر الجذب الغير موجودة في العالم. بدأنا نتعاون بشكل مكثف مع جهاز شؤون البيئة، مع جهاز الجهاز التنفيذي للتنمية السياحية، حتى يمكن أن نصل إلى منتج سياحي متوافق بيئيا، وإلا هيبقى جزء كبير من مصادر الدخل القومي، المصادر السياحية قد يتأثر في السنوات القادمة، وبذا نحرم الأجيال المستقبل من كنوز كانت متوفرة لدينا وتم مش عاوز أقول الإفراط فيها، ولكن إحداث بعض التأثيرات السلبية على هذه الكنوز.
Land developers realize that not every beachfront property has environmentally friendly access to the sea. Some coastal land needs to be kept open, preserving the natural beauty of the coastline and providing safe public access. A land use management plan built on collaboration between the relevant authorities would identify the best options for sustainable development of the southern Red Sea. Protecting natural resources and heritage is vital for tourism-based economic growth.
I think we should be very careful about touristic development, and this will have definitely a